That is right, guys. We got back and traps today. We gonna build that big ass Cobra back. You know what I mean? And we are gonna start off with some wide grip bodyweight pull-ups, guys. No better way to essentially just get the lats and the whole overall back engaged. Of course, your biceps will come into play just a tiny bit when performing a pull-up. But again, I'm not doing none of that CrossFit shit. I love CrossFit. It has its perks, has its benefits. But right here, we are focusing on a real pull-up. None of that kip up shit, like I said, from CrossFit. So, but if you all CrossFitters, I got love for y'all too, because y'all some badasses. But again, right now we are focusing on a traditional pull-up using just your body weight to pull yourself up in your back, not so much the momentum you're getting from a kick up. And we already feeling ourselves. And now, guys, after the warm-up, I like to get into typically weighted lat pull down. So then we're going to go into like essentially our working sets here. You know, when performing these, pick a weight that, as you can see, I'm not like flying backwards because I picked too heavy of a weight. I'm able to control the weight on the negative, but as well on the way upward as well. So, you know, again, pick a weight that you guys are, I think I hit the bill of my cap on that last one, but yeah, again, a weight that you guys can control so that you're utilizing your back muscles and not so much just pure momentum in the process of getting the weight from the starting point to be able to activate your lats on the way down. One thing to remember too, guys, when you guys are performing these, you guys are seeing me again just shift my weight slightly backward. Depending on the machine in which you are using, some are built in a way that there's a little bit room slightly in front, and some are built to where it almost feels more comfortable to slightly lean back like I was. So again, when you guys choose your machine or whatever gym you guys are going to, just be cognizant of that and aware of you know, the way the machine is developed or built. They're all built a little bit different, but most of these lat pull downs are built pretty similar. And that's me just stretching right there, by the way. But yeah, guys, like I said, now I'm gonna actually get into what's called a drop set. So a drop set, for those of y'all who don't know, is essentially when you take in one weight and performing as many reps as you can, almost to failure essentially, and then as you can tell, now I am dropping the weight to a lesser weight, or a lighter weight for that matter, and gonna continue that same set with almost initially no break, no rest time. And we're gonna go right into completing more reps, extending the initial set to a much longer set. And then eventually, yes, now I'm gonna drop it once more. So this is essentially called a triple drop set, guys. And now at this particular weight, being that this is the third drop, it is, as you can tell, that's not slow motion. That is real speed, but it is at a such lighter weight compared to the first two sets within this longer set that I'm able to control it so much and really focus on a negative contraction on all the way up. So again, guys, this is just another variation you can add in to even a drop set, but also adding in negatives like I was. Now that we got our pump, time to show off a little bit. Y'all know what I mean. Oh, we gotta show the wicked gear. What's up? What's up? Alright, guys, now we got our close grip V-bar pull down. Yes, these are always one of my favorites, and you know, you'll probably see most guys in the gym, or ladies, not just the guys, but ladies or men, when they train this, they're pulling probably to their upper pec. One thing you guys will notice when performing this one, I'm actually pulling more or less towards like the middle abdominal when doing this, because again, it just gets me a whole lot deeper in my lower lat when I'm performing this movement, rather than just focus. Oh, and just so you know, if you feel yourself, give a little flex, because this is what you do. But no, for real, y'all, back to what I was explaining to y'all. As you can see from this angle, a much better view when it comes to the, mid abdominal where I'm pulling versus the upper chest, which is more common. And neither one is incorrect. It's really just how it helps you engage the muscles that you're trying to target here. But for me, to hit my rhomboids and to hit my lower lats a little bit, I like to pull to the middle chest. And as you can see, the back is already feeling nice and full already. So we working, peeps. And yes, guys, once again, I believe on this set I'm gonna get into a drop set for y'all. So don't forget, guys, any workout you guys are doing, to just up the ante when it comes to challenging yourself and making it a little bit more difficult. Those negatives like you guys saw earlier on those lat pull downs on a drop set, or like this, just adding the drop set towards your third, fourth set into the movement. Go ahead, guys, add a drop set, make it that much more difficult. And if you're feeling good on the movement and you're getting a lot out of it, or like you have super amount of strength that day, utilize that and add in a drop set, make it a little bit more difficult, and utilize that to kind of further as well improve upon your your overall conditioning and your endurance. So drop sets are great to add into your workout at any time, guys. Alright, y'all, so we done with this one, but we bringing this motherfucker with us, because damn, my back is looking large and in charge right now. But no, for real, we gonna do some V-bar seated cable rows right now. Always been one of my favorites as well, because again, if you pick the right weight that you're working with and you're performing this movement right, guys, it's it's definitely a back thickener, as they'd like to call it. Any of your close grip back movements are going to be for your thickening, and all the wide grip type of movements or pulling movements of that nature are going to be for widening your back, guys. So again, your close grip is going to be for your thickening, and your wide is going to be more so for your width. And one thing you guys are going to notice when it comes around to the front here is my positioning on where I'm pulling to. For one, most people, not that it's incorrect, again, guys, to pull higher on your chest, but it's just hitting a different part of your back, where I am always generally looking to build better lat insertions on a lower part of my back. So I'm building lower lat insertions, which is therefore I'm going to want to pull exactly where I'm doing, mid to lower abdominals rather than my upper chest. So one thing I want you guys to pay attention to is you can see me extra emphasizing the stretch on the negative. I am getting the lats and lower back involved here on purpose. So this is a variation you guys can toss in there at any time, rather than constantly being upright and not getting as much of a stretch. This is kind of what Arnold used to do back in the day, y'all. So definitely pulled this one out of his tricks, and it's certainly a good one. So again, still getting a nice little stretch on the negative, but not as much as before. One thing you guys might notice now is my thumbs are playing like a little thumb war. Just wait till the next view comes around. You guys will be, you might be tossing some cookies in the end, because it's fucking some funny shit. But in the end, for real, I sometimes will let the thumb loosen and not so much be a part of the grip, so it's more of a claw type of grip, as I like to call it. I did go right into a drop set right now, y'all, but now watch the thumbs, y'all. Watch the thumbs. What the fuck are they doing? Playing thumb war and shit. But no, for real, pay attention to the movement, guys, because again, I am still kicking ass and making sure to pull that right to my mid abdominal the entire time we are doing these rows. Time to show you a different variation of the seated row. Now we're going to use the rope cable to kind of just, again, be able to switch up your grip. Makes a big difference at the end. And as you can see, I'm pulling out the grips. I'm making that nice little OK symbol. Rather than your traditional tricep push down or pull down, this is, like I said, a OK type of grip with my hands rather than the traditional. Again, very much pulling to my mid/lower abdominals, guys, to really target those lower lats in this row movement here. And again, this is just a grip that I prefer. Does not mean it is the only way to do this. So again, here's another angle for you guys to kind of get a little different look. Again, the OK look as far as the grip. You know, set yourself up. And again, pull right to the mid to lower abdominal. You can very well pull this any higher if you want, but if you guys want to target those lower lats, this is where you essentially want to be pulling it. And one last variation. Again, still not that traditional tricep pull down grip. This is just another variation to get a little bit more grip for the overall hand versus just the thumb and your pointer finger doing the work. This is the whole hand getting involved here for this row, guys. We are gonna get into some bent over T-bar rows using that same V grip as your handle. So you're gonna bring it over to be able to perform this one. One thing you guys are noticing probably that I load my T-bar rows up with 25s, occasionally the 35s, but more or less it will be the 25s 90% of the time, because yes, you will create a much bigger ROM, aka range of motion, in this particular movement. And as you guys can see from the back, we are targeting all of those back muscles that you continue to see to contract in that upper angle right there. So it's a very, very good back thickener once again, as this is a close grip movement, guys. One thing you may also notice is when I get into position here, we are more or less at around a 30-degree angle, where I would say most people sometimes are a lot more upright versus me. I'm pretty close to parallel as possible, which will put a lot more stress on the back itself rather than your traps, guys. The higher you are standing up, the more traps will be involved. Alright guys, so one thing you'll notice now is, of course, there's 5 plates on there, but what I'm going to get into is a drop set. So you'll notice on the very next set when we change angles, it's going to be a lesser of weight. Therefore, we did not show the exchange of weight, but yes, this is a drop set. Now you see there's only 4, so we're going back to back to back all the way down to, I think it was 2 plates. So when you're doing these, you remember you're bent over the entire time. So outside of changing the weights, your equilibrium is getting fucked right now, because there's no break and you're bent over the whole time with all this weight that you're performing rep after rep. So just be cognizant of that. Don't be passing out and dropping your face right into the weights because you're ready to just pass out. So if you're feeling a little off, take the break. Don't be Superman, do what you can, but be smart. So now we're going to get into a high cable row variation. So not too much different than your typical row, except for, of course, you were going from high to low. So the shifting of the weight in the way that the weight feels is a whole lot different. So give this one a try, guys. I think you guys really will like it. But one thing you'll notice is my grip right now, a slight variation from that OK grip I did earlier, but it is very nice and unique. It does work for me, but as you'll notice on the next set, I go right back to my traditional grip of the OK version, because why? I lose a little bit of the strength when it comes to the heavier weight. So yes, as you can see, now I'm back to that traditional OK grip, because yes, the weight on this particular high to low row right here, guys, I wasn't able to control it when I increased the weight this particular time. So again, guys, it's just another variation. These type of variations, when you guys are getting bored of the same workout, when you don't know how to mix it up, these are the best ways to do so. Just little variations like this. It's another row. It's a cable version or a rope version on a cable machine, but it's just a mix up compared to your typical seated row. So go ahead, guys. Like I said, give this one a try. See which one you like better. If you like them both, go ahead, utilize them both. So now we're gonna get into some trap movements, and we're gonna start off with a standing cable upright row using the W bar. And one thing I love about the cable version of this one versus, let's say, a traditional barbell row is with the cable, guys, the cable is the one providing all of the tension, and it's going to allow throughout the entire movement for there to be tension on your muscle. And I just like the way it feels on my traps that much better versus, again, the traditional barbell. Is either one superior? Not necessarily, guys. They both work just as fine. So whichever one you prefer best, you can go ahead and utilize them both, but this is just what I prefer on most of my back days. But anyways, guys, so as you guys can see, the bar is not super close to my chest. It has a decent distance away from the chest. And yes, that is not slow motion. That is regular speed right there. That's me slowing down the actual contraction of the movement rather than the negative. The negative would be on the way down, but as you can see, those slow contractions really made it that much harder, so I had to speed up all those last couple reps because I was a little gassed out. So again, guys, just maximize your effort on these, especially once you get tired. Just make sure you're getting it up there high enough to, again, really engage the traps all the way through, and really lead with those elbows. Once again, guys, lead with those elbows so the traps are really engaged. Now we are gonna get to our finishers, y'all. So we are gonna finish off with some dumbbell shrugs. That's right. I mean, this isn't the sexiest movement in the world. What I mean by that is it is a very low ROM. As y'all know, that means range of motion. So when you guys are doing these, the range of motion is not much, so that's why people can typically pick the heaviest dumbbell in the gym and shrug it as many times as they want, because the range of motion is so short. However, it's your gripping strength that some of y'all lack when it comes to the dumbbell, and that's why some people will perform these with some wrist straps or something of that nature to help them with their grip strength, guys. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, again, if you're having to constantly use wrist straps in order to do your dumbbell shrugs, I would suggest possibly picking a lighter dumbbell and really building up your wrist strength to pick up something that you actually can control without the assistance, guys. So again, as you can see, my dumbbells aren't super heavy here. I'll get into some heavy sets a little bit later, so you'll see what I mean when I'm talking about that. But right now, like I said, when you're doing these shrugs, little to less or none neck movement, guys. Mostly traps if possible. You do not want to be moving your neck around too much with this short range of motion, because again, it's just not good for you guys, and you could cause, you know, some serious damage to your neck. So again, when you're doing these, just remember little to no neck movement if possible. Like I said, y'all, now we're picking up some of the heavier ones. Of course, from the bottom, they put the heavy ones on the bottom. God damn it. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So now we're into a drop set, guys. So again, pick up the heaviest weight that you can control. You're gonna shrug it as many times as you can. So like I said, we're going to do a drop set, but I like to call this running the rack, because again, you're gonna do as many as you can in this drop set. So I picked the heaviest one and went to a slightly lighter one, which is about, I want to say it was about 20 or 30 pounds lighter. I don't remember, but I will say that yes, you drop it as much as you need so that you can continue to get a nice solid rep range. If you're only getting a couple out of it, and at this point I'm a little tired, not gonna lie, so I believe I drop it a little bit more this time to ensure that I can get that rep range back up there, so that I'm not, you know, just gassing out after about 4 or 5 reps. So again, guys, I dropped the weight, and I'm gonna continue this long ass set, which is, like I said, running the rack, or a, you know, triple drop set, until essentially I can't do no more. And back day is complete, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this. See you at the next one.